like to call to order the GFL Emerald Park Standing Committee at 5:04 p.m. on January 9th, 2023. Would the secretary please read the roll?
Please make sure everyone has their microphone on. Just double check and speak into it. Thank you. Annalise Smith.
Present.
Patrick Murray.
Here.
Mark Slocum.
Here.
Michael Colling. Absent. Harvey Schweitzer.
Here.
Recording Secretary Scott Krieger. Here. Alderman Eileen Madden.
Here.
Greg Burmeister.
Here.
Roland Kiefer.
Here.
Daniel Olzenberger.
Here.
Chad Siegel.
Here.
And Joel Spear Jr.
Here.
This meeting was posted according to Wisconsin open record laws.
Thank you. Open forum. Oh, unless the mayor wants to speak. No. Compliance officer report.
So I have a summary of the audits done since our last meeting, which just happened to have worked out that it's only 7 audits. So it's boilerplate summary, so it takes up the same amount of pages as previously done. The highlights, though, would be that the gas system has been predominantly, the full amount of gas has been delivered to MMSD, which means they're using the system as much as possible. The occasional shutdowns have been due to moisture or MMSD having an issue at their site rather than at the landfill. Leachate management has been up to date. We've had all the sumps cleared, and lately we've had just leachate head well 17 that's had a depth greater than 1 foot. The storage tank was completed. The storage tank has had some repairs, and there's also now a lift station at the toe of phase 6, phase 7. This pumps leachate to the force main, removes a lot of hassles for the landfill, and also they will be removing the Frank tank, which, if you've looked at the pictures, is the giant red semi-truck trailer.
Is it just me, or could you swing your mic a little bit closer to you?
Sure, how's that?
That's better.
Surface water management, I keep going back to the fact that it's been practically a drought this year. That has shown, lower leachate volumes, maybe some vegetation problems with erosion and so on. I'm sure it'll be an impact in later years when it switches back. There haven't been odors, there haven't been liquid loads, we haven't had any litter issues, and certainly no action items. Excuse me. And I think that covers the high points.
Questions, comments? Ever since you got rid of that odor problem, things have been running awful smooth. It's just status of projects, clay extraction.
Well, we're kind of in that time of year where there's not much going on in terms of off-site removal of any soils at this point in time. I'm sure some of those other activities will pick up when weather dictates in the spring. And again, with no capping project or cell construction project scheduled for 2023, that will minimize those type of activities as well. So.
Okay. So you expect no clay extraction other than a backhaul or something like that?
At this point, we'll get some feelers, I'm sure, in the spring when the weather breaks a little bit more. But as of right now, there's no one scheduled to come in. But I'm sure we'll have some activity when the weather allows.
Okay. MMSD.
Yeah, as Joe said, I mean, we've been delivering, I would say, most of the gas that we've been able to collect and process through the treatment plant. And, our downtime has been pretty minimal. Their downtime has been up a little bit for the calendar year of 2022, but Certainly over the last couple of weeks, they've been able to take pretty much everything that we could deliver to them. So I think they must be in a little better position maybe than they were a couple of months ago as well. We'll have kind of some standard projects for 2022 as it relates to the gas plant in terms of compressor rebuilds and replacements and blower rebuilds and replacements, but we currently have them identified as part of capital projects for 2022. So with some good planning, should not really impact our ability to deliver gas to the district.
Did you say 2022?
2023, excuse me. That changeover.
So that's a pretty significant rebuild though, isn't it?
Yeah, they're usually offsite for at least a couple of months for a rebuild of the compressor.
Is there?
But we have backup. So these are secondary units. So we're able to rotate the operation of the compressors and the blowers so that we're still able to collect and deliver.
Okay. Electronic recycling?
Yeah, it pretty much status quo there as well. I think we did go to weekly pickup. Is that right, Chad? So some of the, I'll call it spillover that I was seeing with the every 2 weeks, I think we've been able to resolve with weekly pickups. So it seems to be a little bit more orderly than what we had seen maybe a couple of months ago. So we, with the weekly pickup, we're able to kind of keep up with it. The box, trust me, gets a lot of use from our visitors on Friday and Saturdays. Yeah.
Wow. Residential drop-off?
Same thing there. I mean, we were kind of quiet over the holiday weekends, but with those holidays behind us, and I think some of the Christmas activities, folks have been coming in again pretty hot and heavy. Also with the yard waste drop-off area as part of this, we've had a contractor on site over the last week and a half that's been grinding the raw yard waste materials, and we've been setting up windrows on the pad. So we will be creating the new area again for the residents to come in and bring their yard waste. So we'll be ready in the spring when those activities pick up again as well.
Okay. Well testing?
Yeah, I talked with Frank Perugini at ESC earlier today. The well testing, the sampling has been completed for the 35 residents identified for the sampling program. We anticipate the results to be back probably in the next couple of weeks. And I would think that the letters with those results would be going out to the homeowners early to mid-February.
Plan modification issues?
There's currently nothing in at the department for review. We have some construction documentation reports in for review at the state, including the above ground storage tank and the gas system work that was done at the facility in 2022. We will be looking at doing a modification, as I've said, to the feasibility report for the expansion. And that submittal will probably go in, my guess would be early second quarter of this year. There are some reports, including wetland permitting applications and those types of things that'll be going in here very shortly, tied to the expansion, and then that will lead to the submittal of the addendum for the feasibility report.
How large is that expansion right now currently scheduled or anticipated?
I believe it's
for?
30, some acres, the size of the expansion shed, about 30 acres with a layover. So it should provide an additional, 10-plus years of site life at the facility.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Property protection?
No update on the property protection. Regarding the sociological payments, we have received all of the paperwork that we needed on our end to process the payments. I just signed off on all of those last week. So they should be scheduled for mailing, I would think, either later this week or early next week. So everybody should be receiving those payments by the end of the month.
Household hazardous waste.
So I've shared the report with everyone. This goes through November. And I'm seeing that the very bottom got a little bit cut off. But we will have the complete 2022 look at the next meeting, as we have not gotten December's invoice from Veolia. Overall, I would say things are going really, really well. No complaints with the site. We are closed at 2 of the locations right now for the winter. And the Muskego site will be opening back up in February, and their hours and dates are the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month, starting in February from 8 a.m. until noon. I believe I spoke last time about the fact that the Waukesha site will also be moving to a new location, and that is kind of in various levels of promotion, but they will have a new site in March of 2023. We've also
On the Muskego, could you just mention what days again?
the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month from 8 a.m. until noon.
Okay.
And also, we're working to get some new signage that's like opening flags and directional signage that Veolia can set out to help clarify site traffic. We're also talking with our LIS crew to maybe do some drone photos of the site so that we can do some more interactive mapping on our website, just so that people prior to coming to the site know where to turn into the site, know how to navigate once they're in the site, just to make it a better customer experience. And that is on kind of our radar of things to do in 2023.
Okay. Questions? New business. Kind of a blank slate so far. No? Continuing business? Nothing there. Under other business, you can review payments from the committee funds. Those are attached. And we can confirm the next meeting date of April 24th. Is there anything objectionable about that? Citizen commentary? I don't think there's going to be anything with that. If there's anything else under communications and other business that you would like to bring up, do so now. Upon hearing none, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I would second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 5:18 p.m.